Breaking news at 6. Video you will only see on NBC2 of the hard foul by a Fort Myers boys basketball coach that launched an investigation by the Lee County Sheriff's Office. For the first time, we're seeing the elbow thrown by Scott Guttery that knocked the student to the floor. His parents plan to sue, calling this an unprovoked attack.
Guttery teaches at Fort Myers High School, but his attorney tells NBC2 he hasn't been in class since the pickup game back in early May.
A Fort Myers father has been standing outside the school the past 2 days asking people to sign a petition to get Coach Guttery back. NBC2's Levi Ismail shows us it already has more than 500 signatures.
Sean Shore wants to take these signatures right to the Lee County School District to show them just how valuable Coach Scott Guttery is to the Fort Myers High School. Now, no one I talked to who signed today actually saw the video for themselves, so you be the judge. What you're seeing is the hard foul heard around Fort Myers. Exclusive video of Coach Scott Guttery colliding in midair with a student.
Appreciate it.
One signature
Support the coach
at a time.
Come on, girls. Bring back the coach. You go to the games.
I can't believe this is happening.
Fort Myers basketball dad Sean Shore is rallying his team.
I'm trying to get 500.
Halting traffic.
I'm only one person. I got to run up and down the line. That's why I come when school's out, because I got all the lines here. I appreciate it. We want to get him back here as soon as we can. He deserves more than what I can ever do.
He was like a big help for me.
I went here several years ago.
Oh, then you know him.
It's been 3 weeks.
When will they know if he's going to come back?
Hopefully they'll know soon, because I've heard from a lot of the kids that were there that day, and they all came away with the same opinion. It was just a regular day on the basketball court.
Take another look. Coach's elbow strikes the student as he drives to the rim. 4 days later, Lee County Sheriff's Office launched an investigation.
I just would like to see this move along and bring him back.
No one here has seen this video, not that it matters to them.
Even if he tried it, even if he did do that, it's like, I don't think he did it intentionally.
I know he would never go out of his way to harm or do anything to a player. Oh, you did? Thank you. I appreciate that.
We're going to get him back, trust me.
Now, both attorneys for both parties decided not to comment in this case. Mike McQuaig, who is representing Coach Scott Guttery, tells me that he wants to wait until the school district comes to a decision as to what to do with Coach Guttery. Now, right now, I'm being told that Guttery has not been fired from the school district, but the Lee County School District will not comment on whether or not he has been suspended. Reporting live in Fort Myers, Levi Ismail, NBC2.
And the attorney for the student tells me his client was seriously injured by the coach. Guttery has been under investigation by the school district before. NBC2 got a hold of his 300-page personnel file. In 2015, he was accused of bullying and harassment. He ended up with a written warning. The Lee County Sheriff's Office, again, is still investigating the incident.
More breaking news at 6. Lee County deputies were back at the Bonita Springs home where Dr. Teresa Sievers was bludgeoned to death in 2015. Her husband, Mark, is in jail waiting trial, accused of planning her murder. NBC2's Megan Bragg is live at the home after learning someone broke in today.
Yeah, neighbors tell me it's been fairly quiet around here, but you can see deputies out here tonight investigating a burglary at Mark Sievers' home.
When I heard that happen, the streets were like just covered in cars. And then like, I'd say a month later, there's like no one coming down here. It's back to the same old, same old.
It's deja vu for some neighbors as multiple deputies investigate a crime scene at Mark Sievers' home Friday afternoon, this time for a burglary.
I mean, like, no one lives there. Who's gonna rob it? I mean, what happened there was pretty gruesome, I think.
Mark and his family moved out of the home in February 2016 when he was arrested, accused of hiring a friend and another man to kill his wife. Since then, neighbors say they've seen maintenance crews around the property. And just last week, one neighbor saw two people he didn't recognize going in and out of the home.
They were like going into the garage door and then the side garage door. It looks like they were either moving stuff in or out.
The most recent call came into deputies at 12:45 Friday afternoon. At least 5 cruisers surrounded the home. Multiple people shocked someone would go in there and take from the home.
Since I don't see any activity coming in or out of the house, it's kind of weird to hear that somebody tried to burglarize, let alone break in.
I wouldn't want to go near it.
Now, earlier today, we saw members of Mark Sievers' defense team here. We also saw people trying or changing something like locks on that door. Reporting live in Bonita Springs, Megan Bragg, NBC2.
Mark Sievers is accused of hiring his longtime friend Curtis Wright and Jimmy Rogers to kill his wife Teresa in June of 2015. Wright took a plea deal and has agreed to testify against Sievers and Rogers.
A massive search for Diana Alvarez is being relaunched nearly 1 year after she disappeared from her San Carlos Park home.
NBC2's Jacqueline Beavis met with the Peace River Search and Rescue Team today. Some of those members told Jacqueline this search is personal.
This is Dama. And that's Banner.
Michael Hadsell, his team of certified search dogs, and others with the Peace River Rescue Group plan to use a new method in the search for Diana Alvarez.
It works in a combination with all of our units, including the drone units, and then working as well with some other technology that we've developed.
When the San Carlos Park girl disappeared last May, Hadsell and his team knew her from her photo right away.
She got off the school bus and came over and was petting my dog and a couple other people's dogs. She actually has a couple of our trading cards.
Meeting her while working another search, while the focus of the dogs and the work of the team always stays constant. Each case takes an emotional toll.
You know, when you've had a mother who's sobbing in your arms and, you know, please find my child, that makes it very real for us.
And despite the passing of time, the hope for this search stays constant from every angle.
Ms. Hernandez was excited about the possibility of both these agencies coming in and perhaps finding where Diana is.
And even not finding anything is still an answer in itself, because it means we're looking in the wrong place.
In Inglewood, Jacqueline Beavis, NBC2.
The man suspected of taking Diana, Jorge Guerrero, was found guilty of federal child pornography charges earlier this month after investigators found naked pictures of Diana on his phone. He has never been charged in her disappearance. The search team says they will focus on his whereabouts in the days after she went missing.
A Punta Gorda attorney is accused of trying to get a witness to lie. Detectives say Tawana Bogle offered the witness $2,500 on behalf of her client. Other attorneys told NBC2 this clearly goes against ethics, but there may be more to the accusations.
Especially if it's an informant and the informant's not trustworthy, then I think all the steps should be taken to make sure that this attorney is protected and that her name is cleared if, in fact, she didn't do this.
Bogle was arrested, posted her $10,000 bond. Her office won't comment until the state attorney's office reviews the case.
NBC2 is tracking your tax dollars. The Florida budget turkey list is out, and we uncovered 3 Southwest Florida projects are on it. These are projects that state lawmakers put into the 2018 state budget without a vote or even debate. The Marco Island Fire Department is getting $750,000 for repairs. The Port Boca Lighthouse, $89,000. And the Arcadia Rodeo Equestrian Center budgeted for $500,000. Some taxpayers aren't happy about the process.
It confirms some of my fears about our local politicians, that they're unethical in the way that they distribute our funds and use our hard-earned taxpayer dollars.
Keep in mind, the nearly $178 million worth of projects still has to get by the governor. He has the power to veto each one.
One of the busiest roads in Lee County will be closed next month for at least a couple of weeks. FDOT is repairing a railroad crossing on Colonial Boulevard. New at 6, NBC2's Amanda Skripchak spoke with drivers who fear this upcoming construction is going to be a traffic nightmare.
Well, FDOT says last year, on average, more than 58,000 cars travel over the railroad crossing on Colonial Boulevard between Metro Parkway and Evans Avenue every day. And while that road is closed, drivers are preparing for their daily commutes to almost double.
Probably going to cost me overall probably an hour and a half every day.
Tim Curry takes Colonial Boulevard every day on his way to work.
I have a trailer that I pull behind my truck, so now, you know, getting back and forth to my trailer is going to be a headache.
Well, I'm pretty disappointed because I go right down there every day to go to work.
Charles Brown also worries his usually 15-minute commute will double.
I can imagine 45 minutes or something like that, I guess.
The railroad crossing was last rebuilt in 1993. Heavy traffic and speeding cars are causing the tracks to separate from the road itself.
Very, very bumpy. I almost have to come to a complete stop before I go across it.
FDOT says it needs to be replaced with a new concrete version before it completely fails.
Right now, FDOT says in its current state that drivers could actually break their cars or even injure themselves if they lose control.
Crews will be working day and night to try and get everything done in 14 days.
There's nothing I can do about it, so I just have to kind of deal with it. But yeah, it's 2 weeks that I'm going to spend extra on the road instead of being at home.
FDOT is asking drivers to avoid the area while construction is going on and to seek alternate routes.
The only thing I know to do is go down Evans Avenue. If everyone else is going down Evans Avenue, it'll be a nightmare.
Well, one option for Cape Coral drivers who use the Midpoint Bridge is to actually use the Cape Coral Bridge. Or after crossing that Midpoint Bridge, you can use McGregor, Summerlin, or US 41. Now, we put a full list of all the alternate routes on our website, NBC2.com. Live in the studio, Amanda Skripchak, NBC2.
A man accused of breaking into at least 24 homes in multiple counties faced a judge today. Blake Guild has a laundry list of charges from grand theft to armed robbery. Deputies say he stole thousands of dollars in jewelry, cash, and credit cards. Due to a history of missing court dates, he remains in the Charlotte County Jail with no bond. As deputies were searching for Guild, they stumbled across a grow house with about 30 marijuana plants. Deputies thought somebody had broken into the Charlotte County home, so they went inside and they found all those drugs behind a fake wall in the master bedroom. Investigators arrested the homeowners, Michael and Amanda Matherin, on drug charges.
The Florida Department of Health will set the rules for medical marijuana, and they will allow 3 days of public comment before anything is set in stone. State lawmakers failed to come up with a plan during the regular session. Drug Free America says this way, having the Department of Health do it, is the wrong way.
It's really quite overwhelming for us to expect the Department of Health to bear the burden of this without the guidance of the legislature.
If lawmakers don't come back for a special session, the Department of Health is bound by current law requiring patients to wait 90 days before they can get their medicine. From our Cape Coral News team, police arrested these two teens for breaking into cars. Officers saw them on their bikes last night at around 2 in the morning. 15-year-old Wyatt Long and 14-year-old Nathan Mitchlick on Chiquita Boulevard. They say the stolen items were in their backpack.
Just in time for one of the busiest boating weekends of the year, the Greater Naples Fire District dedicated its new rescue boat. The 38-foot boat comes with state-of-the-art firefighting and rescue equipment. And what makes it so special is the wheelhouse is enclosed, so weather won't get in the way of helping patients.
It's the first of its type in the county. We're just very, very excited, and it's a great day for the fire district.
The boat also has infrared cameras to make it easier to find people in the water.
Well, he picked the wrong restaurant to rob. Tonight at 11, what one South Florida employee did that had the robber running out the door.
And with that always comes problems: the alcohol, the drugs, the prostitution.
A homeless camp just feet from backyards in North Fort Myers. New at 6, only NBC2 takes you inside, where prison crew is working to clean it up.
And you're taking a live look right now toward the coast of Collier County, up and down Naples Pier. If your beach plans are part of the weekend plans for the weekend here, I've got a look at the forecast and what you can expect. It's all coming up in just a few minutes.
Feels like temperature more than 100 degrees today, you said, or around 100?
Just about everybody had those heat index numbers above 100 degrees this afternoon. Do you like that?
No.
Peter?
That was a rhetorical question.
Exactly.
Okay, I just got it.
I got some bad news for these two.
Yeah, you got it near the water. Yeah, bad news for the next 6 months, right?
Yeah, that's a better way to put it. Yeah, but in terms of rain opportunities, they're very low. Heat index numbers for you this weekend, very, very high in southwest Florida. You'll notice as we take a look at the region's one and only live Doppler radar, there is not one drop of rain anywhere near Lee County, Charlotte County, or Collier County. There's some thunderstorms that are over toward the Miami area that are in connection with the front that moved through here a few days ago. Unfortunately for us, those showers and storms will stay on the other side of the state, as our rain prospects over the next couple of hours are just about zero here along the western coast of the Florida Peninsula. In fact, with all that in mind, most of us are seeing just a clear sky outdoors right now. This is a live perspective, a beautiful live perspective from Naples Bay and Collier County, where air temperatures are still in the mid to upper 80s and even a few lower 90s in Bonita Springs and Punta Gorda. Fort Myers and Cape Coral right now both have air temperature reports of 85 degrees, about 15 minutes minutes after the hour of 6. Satellite and radar composite for us tonight shows those thunderstorms over toward the east coast, but it's that big H on the board that has more to do with your weather tonight and for the upcoming weekend. That represents an area of high pressure in the atmosphere, and all you need to know about that is that when a big H on the board dominates your weather for the weekend, it means very dry forecast up and down the west coast of our state, but very warm temperatures as well. High pressure tends to promote sinking in the atmosphere, and that helps to compress the air, and that helps to warm things up a bit more. So when it comes to rain prospects for your Saturday, again, I wouldn't expect much of anything in the way of rainfall. In fact, clouds may be hard to come by even during the second half of the day as we call for a mostly sunny sky throughout the entirety of your Saturday afternoon forecast. Winds will play a role, as they always do in our weather, from the north in the morning, but they will switch more toward the northwest in the afternoon. Just a heads up there for boaters. That, of course, is the afternoon sea breeze. So to summarize the boating forecast for tomorrow, it's going to be a busy day on the water. We're talking about north to northwest winds around 5 to 10 knots. That translates into open water seas in the Gulf of Mexico between 2 and 3 feet, and then yields just a light chop on the inland bays, rivers, and waterways. Looking long term here, I'm talking Sunday and toward Memorial Day on Monday. High pressure is still in control of our weather, and that will keep that front that you see off toward the north of us to the north of us, which means, again, very low rain opportunities the next several afternoons. Memorial Day, of course, is on Monday. I'm calling for a forecast high of 94 degrees in the afternoon. Otherwise, just look for mostly sunny and warm conditions with winds light from the west around 5 to 10 miles an hour for you during Monday afternoon. Just to sort of tie this up here for your weekend forecast, when it comes to rain opportunities, we're talking goose eggs up and down the west coast of the state. Maybe a shower or two over toward the east, but not here in southwest Florida. That trend continues for us all the way through Tuesday, but if you look longer term as we get toward Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, there's some good indications we'll be trending back toward more of a rainy season type pattern with the opportunity of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Enjoy.
Cleaning up violence, drug use, and prostitution in North Fort Myers. New at 6 and NBC2 exclusive. Riding along shotgun for a homeless camp cleanup near homes off Bayshore Road.
NBC2's Ben Henry is live where jail inmates got to work today.
Well, this is the same wooded area I was at about 8 hours ago, and I'll tell you what, it does not look the same. The cleanup effort, they did a great job. I do want to show you, though, how close this once homeless camp, how close it is to these homes. At one point, these neighbors had complete strangers settling in just beyond their backyards.
I know everybody has to live, but this is ridiculous.
For nearly 50 years, Hilda Durso has lived in North Fort Myers and has never had an issue with her neighbors.
They gotta go.
Until now.
It's a mess back there.
She says this homeless camp just off of Bayshore Road has become a problem, and she wants the people living there gone so she can have peace of mind.
To not be frustrated or nervous that they're gonna jump over the fence or do something to them.
The first time we came here, there were 8 people. The next time we came here, there was an additional 8 people.
The Lee County Sheriff's Office, along with help from the county's Department of Transportation and an inmate work crew, spent the day cleaning up the camp covered in trash.
Before you know it, you have your own little tent city back here. And then with that always comes problems, the alcohol, the drugs, the prostitution.
This camp could be considered sophisticated in a way. Those who lived here once started developing their own septic system.
The tub was actually working. They would add rainwater and flush the dirty water over into their septic tank.
The sheriff's office tells me when it kicks people out, the majority refuse their help. Some even claim harassment. But Captain Christopher Reeves says deputies are just following the law.
We're not harassing them. We're protecting the citizens that we're sworn to protect.
I'm glad they're leaving.
Now it's not clear if anyone is going to come back here and sleep tonight. The sheriff's office tells me it's stepping up patrol in case they do. Now this doesn't have any added costs to the sheriff's office or the county for cleanups like this, but it did take a few deputies off the street today. Live in North Fort Myers, Ben Henry, NBC2.
Sam is so professional on the mound. He knows what he's doing. He throws strikes, and he knows how to compete. I need him sometimes when he gets off that mound, and I need him to hit.
So consider it a double whammy when the Cougars lost their best player on both sides of the ball early this afternoon in the Class 3A state semifinals. Star pitcher Sam Keating left the game with what coaches called afterwards a stiff neck. Facing Bishop McLaughlin in the 3A semis, Keating beaned a batter in the first, gave up a run in the first, tried to warm up in the second, but could not give it a go as Tyler Shuck came in for relief. To the game, bottom second, tied at 1. Giovanni Giacomo delivers a 2-out, 2-run single to center. Canterbury on top, 3-1. Pitching staff did an admirable job in Keating's absence. Shuck striking out the side in the third. 5 total Ks and 3 2/3 of work. And Nick Vanderhoff and Danny Cunningham closing it out from there. Strikeout for each. Jared Rodriguez goes down for the final out. Cougars win 7-4. Back to the finals thanks to the FGCU commit who hadn't pitched since late March.
Tyler Shuck, big guy that he is and big gamer he is, he hasn't pitched in a while and said, hey coach, I want the ball, and he single-handedly kept us in the ball game like that, and it was a Warriors effort on his part.
Championship game Saturday afternoon, 4 p.m. at Hammond Stadium. Well, for the FGCU Eagles, their backs are officially against the wall. They lost late last night against Kennesaw State, sending them to the losers bracket of the ASUN tournament. Dirty Birds now have to win 4 straight for a title, but can't get to 4 till they win 1. Elimination game against Lipscomb. Down 1-0 in the first. Richie Garcia bats in Nick Rivera on this single to center. That ties the game at 1. Garrett Anderson pitched 7 1/3, 6 Ks. Only allowed 1 run on 4 hits. Tight game in the 6th. We are still tied at 1s till Corey Fairback lifts this one to left. Gets lost in the sun, and that'll plate Garcia. It is currently 2-1 Eagles in the bottom of the 8th inning. FGCU 3 outs away from the win, and if they do win, they will face Kennesaw State in another elimination game tonight at 7 p.m. First Baptist Academy gets the honor of closing out the spring football season. Billy Sparacio and company take on Village Academy at 7:30 down in Naples, and his focus will be absolutely nothing to do with the scoreboard.
Really see kids, first and foremost, understand where to line up and what they're supposed to do once they line up, and then build team camaraderie. It's a new group. This is their turn, so just step up, build that camaraderie, and get ready for the 2017 season.
Highlights from that game tonight at 11. A couple final notes. Mariner boys basketball has officially removed the interim tag on Keith Jones as he replaces James Harris full-time for the Tritons. And Port Charlotte's Bill Specht has stepped down as Pirates head coach after 22 years, 418 wins, and 8 district titles. And that's sports.
All new tonight at 11.
Only in Florida, what this woman did with pork fried rice that put her behind bars. Tonight at 11.
Today was the last day of school for Lee County schools, and students at Heights Elementary in Fort Myers got quite the send-off.
Yeah, if I were a teacher, I'd be celebrating too. There were streamers and balloons. Teachers waved goodbye with those pool noodles. Everyone's excited for summer. Teachers admit, they say it's a little tough.
Bittersweet, sad to see our 5th graders go. They worked really hard. They're 6 years here at Heights, but I know they've done really well here at the elementary school, so I know they're ready to go to middle school, and I know they'll be successful there as well.
Collier County's last day of school is June 1st. Charlotte County students got out yesterday.
Like the pool noodles and the water guns.
They're going to get a lot of use this weekend. It's going to be very hot, but we will be a little bit cool on the morning hours. We're talking about upper 60s even across Charlotte Harbor, low 70s in Lee and Collier counties, but looking a whole lot toastier during the afternoon, going with 94 on Sunday and mostly dry on Memorial Day with temperatures topping out near 94 degrees.
Stay cool.
Yikes. Yes.